Hi, Gian. I'm providing you a feedback of your informative speech. I'm sorry, your debate speech. Here we go. All right, so here we go. I'm doing a screen share. So based on the 6 pointers, your data claim, warrant backing, qualified rebuttal, there are a few things that I would like to talk about first. Based on your claim, you need to kind of rework a little bit. I'm not talking about the rationale that you have used here. The rationale is fine, but it needs to be completed. Okay, so here I will say that you talked about doctors, but you didn't talk about teachers. So there should be a point of comparison here that will justify your claim. You talk about teachers that they should not be paid more currently, should be paid more, but not as much as doctors. However, you talk about the amount of schooling doctors go through and real chances their pay reflects this. What about teachers here? As opposed to teachers, complete the thought, as opposed to teachers who goes through lesser challenges or lesser legal challenges and goes through lesser amount of schooling. So that's one thing. Quickly, this one is fine. This one is fine. Backing is fine. Qualify is fine. Rebuttal is also fine. And let's. However, after reading your draft, I would talk to you primarily about your rebuttal. Okay, and a few minor things here and there. Now, I do see a connection. It's great that you've talked about your own personal experience, gives audience a lot of trust because you are actually trying to say that teachers should be paid more, but not as much as doctors. So, and it comes from a teacher. So there's a lot of trust and credibility. And you've built a connection by saying that you are a teacher who works at a daycare. Now, I would probably add a little bit of a wow factor here. Last few sentences could be, remember, it has to be extremely catchy, and you need to kind of have some kind of drama, either get the audience, some kind of connection has to be there, like a raise your hands, how many of you agree, or maybe some startling statistics. Okay, startling statistics would be the starting salary of a teacher in the highest paid school district, and the starting salary of a doctor in the highest paying state. Okay, so maybe that could be a good visual picture of them to understand what you're talking about, how much is the money. So concretize it a little bit more. Okay, now here we go. I like the way you say it. Let's be realistic here. These are short, pithy statements that makes it conducive for an audience who's listening to you. Now you are talking about, I did see that, you're talking about 10 months, whether teachers have to work 10 months, but whereas doctors have to be available 24/7. You do talk about that. Then you talk about how much money they have to, how much schooling, 18 years versus 4 years of school. Then people can also, you do within those 18 years, we've also talked about residency or fellowship. Not everybody does residency or fellowship. You may have to think about, some teachers also to spending some time on professional accreditation, the certification that they have to constantly take. They also have to sometimes, to get a better scale, they also have to do a master. Some teachers also go ahead and do a PhD. So those are things that also need to be addressed. However, you can say that, yes, teachers can do this because you remember you got to protect yourself from people counter arguing with you. This could be something that they will catch on to this and counter argue with you, just the way I talked about it. So remember that even the teachers, spend, we don't see only certain amount, or give me the certain percentage of teachers who go on with a master's or who go on with a PhD. It's very small as opposed to doctors. Most of the doctors would go for a residency or fellowship. Get the stats, get the numbers there. Then the last thing that I would like to tell you is the fact that you do talk about the fact that yes, the near rebuttal, which is your loophole in your argument, saying that yes, teachers, if they have to do go through as much schooling, 18 years of schooling as doctors, then they should be paid equally, right? And that is you're saying that yes, if that is there, then I would say yes, then my claim is not true. That's a great rebuttal. However, it's a minor rebuttal. Okay, minor in the sense that not a whole lot of people are going to challenge you in regards to this because there most people will agree with this, right? Not a whole lot of people will challenge, but what people may challenge you, that's fine. If you used a minor rebuttal, that's totally fine. You could use a major or a minor rebuttal. Think about the major rebuttals that can come your way. Teachers are important to the fabric of our community. They create doctors, they create police officers, they create Supreme Court judges, right? So that we need to put in that amount of money so that as much as doctors, because we want to get the best best of the best, in building our big community of professionals who will serve the country. All right, so that could be a major one that could come, and that's fine if you haven't addressed that. That's fine, but I'm sure you're going to do that for your rebuttal speech when you have to actually attack yourself from different views and see how people may attack you. All right. So having said this, I also did not see how you reworked that rebuttal within your conclusion. So you may want to do that much more elaborately. You may say that okay, a little bit, saying that you. And even though you say that on an average you attend a 4 year school, 18 years, that's a huge, that's being that's a huge difference. That's being for another, why teachers should not get paid as much as doctors. Uh, However, you're saying all of this, but I don't see the rebuttal. I see it in the map, but I'm not seeing a very strong presence here. I may have to just kind of interpret and think, and so it's not doesn't have a very direct presence. So make sure you include that very directly, and then defend yourself there. So those are the things that you need to work on. Here you I did give you about 5 points, even though certain things could have been reworked in your MAP. I have given you 5 on 5 for that. Then in the introduction, as I mentioned, it needs to have that a little bit of a wow factor. Give a startling statistics that makes it even more relevant to the audience. The relevancy of the topic. This is the amount of salary that people are getting. These doctors and teachers are getting. Any kind of relevancy. I mean, some startling statistics, rhetorical questions, hypothetical situations. These are all strategies of getting the relevance. Okay, now in terms of the body, I did tell you what you need to do, and then in conclusion, I did talk to you about how you need to kind of explicitly put down your rebuttal and defend it. All right, hopefully this is helpful. Thank you.